Whether you have an employment, criminal, family, corporate, or personal injury matter, legal issues can be puzzling. The lawyers at Devry Smith Frank make all the pieces fit together.
Welcome to this extended interview with lawyer John Schuman. John, I want to ask you about the importance of evidence in a family court case. Many people think that all they have to do is just tell the judge their story, and because they believe it's true, the judge will believe it's true. How do you explain to people the importance of actually proving what they say about the other party?
Well, it can be hard because people who come in a divorce or separation are really very emotional, and the way they see their spouse and the way they see the whole situation and the way they see themselves at that point can be a little bit skewed because it's such a terrible time for them.
So if a person is saying, for example, that they were abused, physically abused, I would imagine that you would say to them, look, did you ever call the police? We need to get those police records. Did you ever go to the hospital? We need medical records of any injuries. I take it you do that.
Yes, you need to do more than just come up with the allegations and what you're thinking. Because in court it happens all the time that people make up things because they think they're getting an advantage by doing it. And so what judges really want to see is they want to see some proof that it happened.
You know what I often see? Each parent says that they were the primary caregiver of the child.
That's right.
And I say to them, well, bring me a letter from the doctor that tells me who's the one that took this child to the doctor. Bring me a letter from the daycare center that tells me who's the one that brought this child and picked up the child for daycare. Bring me something from the school that tells me who went to the parent-teacher interviews. And I think lawyers do try to get their clients to get some independent evidence from somebody that's trustworthy.
That's right. When someone say they're the primary parent, I ask them, who's your family doctor? Who's the child's dentist? Who's your child's teacher? Who's your child's best friend? And they can answer all those questions, and I know there's going to be some proof that shows that. And so if you go to like the family doctor and say, can you ask your family doctor for the record? The family doctor's records are going to say, like, little Johnny came with mom today, or little Johnny came with dad today. It's there every time.
A lot of people use their family members. You know, they think that somebody who's not independent, who's not really objective because they've aligned themselves with that person is going to be reliable. Well, they might and they might not.
Yeah, they might not be reliable, and it really depends on how they present in court and whether they are really aligned. Because a person who you think is the biggest cheerleader for you can really tank your case. Because they can go in screaming and yelling about what a great person you are to the judge and what a terrible person. The judge is going to say, you're even crazier than the person who's the parties in front of me.
Well, the judge might be thinking it. I don't know if they're going to say it. But I did also want to point out about financial evidence. As you know, many people argue about each other's incomes.
Everyone thinks their husband.
Yeah, right. Everybody thinks that their spouse actually earns more than they really do. And, you know, for some self-employed people, it is difficult to figure out exactly what they earn.
Very difficult for self-employed people sometimes.
And sometimes you need to get their consent for information. You know, I would imagine, for example, if somebody's an employee and you want information about from their employer about what they really earn or the corporation that they work with, you might need to get some consent or some court orders for disclosure by other parties?
Right. That's right. What is most important to start off with is obviously the tax returns. And if a person is not self-employed, their tax return may show a lot of what they earn.
Right.
But if they are self-employed or their employer has some control over their income, and if they've got a special relationship with their employer, then you might need to speak to the employer. And having a client who just says, you know, we made all this money and there's always this cash hanging around the house. Well, there's no proof of cash. You need to show me something that shows you actually had the money. Show me the trips to Jamaica. Show me the fancy cars. Show me
the credit card bills.
Yeah, that's right, the credit card bills. And usually when you go through those documents, like, it takes some time, but you can see what the people were spending.
Mind you, I can see why then that the work of a lawyer can add up, and the hours can add up, and the costs can add up. So I hope that everybody understands that if you're going to have disputes about factual things and you have to prove it, your lawyer's going to have to take the time to review it. John, thank you so much for being with us. The book, again, is a guide to the basics of Ontario family law.